Hello there and welcome to my review flip through of the Dark Souls 3 art book by Designworks. This is the hardcover. It's about 333 pages of fantastic artwork in here, dark fantasy. So if you're into dark fantasy, then you're in for a treat. Now this is the third game in the series, obviously, and I do have the art books for Dark Souls 1 and 2, and they're fine books, but From Software have really taken it to the next level with Dark Souls 3, and this book is absolutely packed with fantastic artwork. Now, word of warning, I will be showing some in-game footage for some of the artwork, so you can see how it got translated into the game, which I always find interesting. Now this is going to be a long video because it's a lot of pages of artwork to get through. So yeah, you might want to get a drink or even something to eat. It's going to be a long one. You can see all the different designs for all the different characters and costumes. There are loads of weapons and costumes in this game, ridiculous amount. It just shows the level of detail that From Software are willing to put into a game. They really don't hold back. Really atmospheric pieces, lots of very strong contrast, lots of silhouettes. And I think the artists at From Software have really perfected their trade. This is the third game in the series. They really know what they're doing. Here's the vacant thrones of the Lords of Cinder. So they vacated their thrones. They don't want to link the flame. Now, this is the French version of the book. Now, there isn't much text in the book at all. It is purely artwork. There is an English version of the book and German and Japanese, but it's the same layout, it's the same artwork. So it doesn't really matter which one you get. And French is quite similar to English anyway, so you can work out what the text is saying most of the time. So if you were interested in finding out more about the artists and what motivated them, their experiences on the project, then you're going to be sorely disappointed with this book because it is purely artwork. So obviously that's a positive or a negative depending on how you look at it. So here we have the Great Wall of Lothric in the game. You can see there's that dark sigil sign in the sky. So this is later on in the game. You can see how the artwork, sometimes it's literally recreated in the game verbatim, literally looks just like the artwork. But you get these fantastic vistas in Dark Souls games. It's one of the things I love about them. And all these places in the distance, you can actually get to go there. That's one of the things that the creator of the game said, that he wanted people to be able to see things and know that they can go and explore those places. Look at that dragon. That's just... it's so spectacular. This is one of the armour sets that I'm using. This is from killing one of the bosses, the dancer. She's incredibly elegant when she moves. And she's got that veil. Just fantastic. And again, you can see this fantastic vistas. A view of Lothric. The main area. You start off at the wall and the Great Wall, and then you've got to move in to explore. Outlines there. Look at those candles in the bottom left there. That's so nice. And you've got these pilgrim angels, I think they're called. Kind of strange things floating around. So imaginative, those. A lot of these pictures are mood pictures. I mean, this is all about lighting and atmosphere. See the light shining in from the windows, all that glow. Some of the darker dungeon areas. Bit of a Bloodborne vibe going on here. And this is something that I noticed when I was playing the game. Was there were certain sections in the game where it did feel a bit more Bloodborne. Oh, this tree here. There's always hanging corpses in these games. There we go, let's have a little look around. And you can see how that tree was put into the game. It's got nice fire effects. And that's the great thing about concept art, is it makes sure that the game has sort of memorable locations. And it really helps the environment artists to create environments that just feel more real. This is real dark fantasy. I love all the detail. All the shells, the roots. Oh, sorry about the focus there. It's on autofocus. That's why. A little character there to give a sense of scale. I love these ruins. I think the thing about ruins is it just adds a sense of history and makes the places you explore feel just real, grounded. All different designs there. That stonework's really nice. Again, they'd put a little character in there for scale. But yeah, as I was saying, I think there is a bit of a crossover when it comes to Bloodborne and Dark Souls. And there are certain, the obligatory tombstones. There are certain areas, especially later on in the game, that feel a bit too ornate, I think. It's as if the line between the two games gets a bit blurred towards the end. Something From Software need to watch out for. A lovely hallway there, and that's actually literally in the game. There's some big giants in there to fight. But I like the candle stick there, all the candles. In this area, there's some priests in here, and you get to fight them. And you can see all those lanterns dangling down. It's a really nice area. Let's actually have a look at this. Yeah, I've got a chest on my head with teeth in it. I like the way the tongue moves. The physics on the tongue is so nice. I've actually killed all the priests, so yeah. Oh, there's one. There's one still there. You can see the lanterns there dangling. And that chest that slowly kills you. So you can't wear it for too long. But I do think that the colour palettes of the concept art are a bit richer. In the game it seems a bit more washed out, the colour palettes. They're making a different game now, Elden Ring. Apparently it's going to be the biggest and best game they've ever made. And the art book for that's just going to be incredible. It's going to probably be 600 pages. But I hope they make it a bit more rich in terms of the palettes, a bit more colourful. Because I can feel a bit washed out, the Souls games, in terms of the colour palette. I love that blue light, the clouds. So nice. Look at these statues. There's so many of them in the game, and they all look really cool. Top right there, that lady with the the well-endowed lady there. That's a piece of concept art from Dark Souls 1, I think. And they've used it as a picture. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that one there. I don't normally have women with big breasts. They're normally a bit more refined than that. That's the sort of thing you see in Western arts. It's like elfin women with huge breasts or something like that, you know. I love all the texturing. The candelabras. Oh. As I say, sometimes the things do feel a bit too ornate for what is really more of a medieval game, I think. Cool. All that goblets and things lying around. Someone's got to model all that. Oh, here's Yorm's throne. He's a big giant in the game. And you can see when it comes to the lighting and the texturing, I don't quite capture the materials in the concept. Like, it's sort of nearly there, but not quite. I'm not sure this game engine is using physically based shaders. It doesn't seem to be. When I got to this area, I was staggered at just how beautiful it was. But Yorm himself, as long as you've got that sword, you can kill him really easily, so that was a bit anticlimactic, actually, that encounter. But a beautiful chamber. I think it actually looks better in-game. And here we have Archdragon Peak. And it's more of a bright daylight environment, which you don't normally see in Dark Souls. Normally everything's really dark and dingy, so it was a really nice change. And you have to sort of take that stance at a certain point in the game, and you kind of teleport to this new location. It's interesting to me, that picture on the top right there, it's more just like line work, and I do wonder whether or not most of this artwork is just line work, and it's just a few pieces that we're seeing here that are actually fully fleshed out with colours and textures. Oh, that dragon in the mountain, that's so cool. And you can see that pose again there. Well, they just sort of cross-legged pose. Let's have a sit down and check out the view. It's more snowy, the actual mountain in the game. As I say, it's like a brighter area. It's a lovely area in the game. And it's quite in stark contrast to all the darker, gloomier areas. Love these guys, they're covered in twigs and branches. They've been there for so long. Oh, I can't resist knocking those stones over. Oh, there's an enemy. See if you can sneak up behind him. No. Get around the back and backstab him. Yeah. Classic backstab. Let's finish him off before he gets up. But the enemies themselves are so imaginative. Oh, there's always more. There's quite a lot of enemies in this area. But the views from this location are so nice. Now we have that dark sigil in the sky again. There it is again, kind of dominates the sky later on in the game. It's a ring of fire, a symbol of the undead, the hollowing of humanity. It's your mission to link the flame and lift the curse of the undead. And this guy is so cool. I think he's the first boss you fight. And apparently he was like you. He was trying to link the flame, but he ended up stuck here. Little tip for this guy is very easy to parry. I found it's definitely the best way to tackle him. I love the lighting, the candles, the way the light illuminates his armour. Very nice. And you can see all the detail there on the side there, so this is definitely an illustration for the texture artist to work with. And that's something you've got to be very aware of if you're working in the game industry. All this stuff has got to be made. Like, someone's got to do all the 3D models. And there's another boss there. So you do have to be mindful of that. It's like making sure that they know exactly how to put these things together. Oh, this tree boss was so funny. It's like so imaginative. That's why I love these games, is you never know what to expect. Oh, that guy was good at... I mean, if I showed you all this stuff in game, we'd be here all day. So I'm just going to show a few bits and pieces. Oh, there's the priests, yeah, that I killed in that other area. And there is a lot of crossover between like Dark Souls 1 and 3. There's a lot of... there's one of the Abyss Watchers. Yeah, there's a lot of areas and enemies that have made it from one game into the other. Yeah, I love this outfit. I love the Abyss Watcher outfit. It's my favourite one. That funny hat makes me laugh. Oh yeah, this guy's got... He's got taken by the Abyss. I mean, that is so cool. I love all the work in that. Look at his beard made of branches. His flaming club there. There's that's the guy that lived on that throne. That's a serious meat cleaver he's got there. That's a serious weapon. Only a giant could wield that. He didn't have a good time. It's got quite an interesting backstory, actually, that Yulm. I mean, the amount of lore in this game is just incredible. And there's whole hours and hours and hours of videos on the lore behind it all. It's kind of deliberately a bit obscure. Oh, there's that dancer out. This is the dancer boss. The way she moves is one of the best bosses in any game. So elegant. Ah, that was a fantastic fight. And you get her armour set. Dragon armour, it's like a set of armour that's got a life of its own. And he's a tough cookie. So there's actually nobody in this armour, but you can see one of those pilgrim butterflies that's controlling him. And if you notice, when you kill him, the butterfly dies. It's dying there. That's controlling him. And a lot of people wanted his armour set. It's like, oh, I want his armour set. And they do allow you to get it later on in the DLC. And this is the thing about this book, it does include all the artwork from the DLC as well. And here you can see him in the DLC, and you can actually... You fight him again and you can get his armour. So From Software listened to the fans and gave them what they wanted. Which is kind of cool. Just get his whole armour set. And as you can see, it's pretty cool. That's the thing about From Software. Even if they do, you might think that's a bit boring, a boring boss, a big bloke with a sword and a shield. A million times, seen it a million times before, but From Software always seem to come up with a super cool design. Yeah, those pilgrim butterfly things. So there's pilgrims that have like shells on their back, and they all kind of like die on their pilgrimage. But these ones can fly. So, but as I said, I mean, there's so much lore behind everything in this game. It's crazy. It's one of the princes. And that's a good battle as well. And there's the prince again with his brother that ends up resurrecting him during the battle. Oh, this guy's creepy. Very creepy.
Ah, you ignorant slaves. Finally taken notice, have you? Of the power of my beloved Ocelot, child of dragons. Well, I will not give him up, for he is all that I have.
You see sort of holding something there? That's actually a baby. There are people that data mine these games, and you would actually see him holding this baby, but they obviously decided not to show that. Oh, I love these dragons. So there was like dragons originally before the humans, well, and the pygmies destroyed the dragons, and then we had the dawn of the Age of Fire. And you're like a Ashen One, and kind of your job to link the fire. Getting through here, this is probably not a good idea. No. I think I need to get out of there. In the first game there was a dragon doing the same thing on the breathing fire across the bridge. That seems to be obligatory in every Souls game. Oh, this guy, oh my gosh. This guy was a nightmare. Even called in my mate Andy to help me with this battle. He was like, oh, you're having a bit of trouble? I was like, oh, I'll help you out. So if you can get someone to help you, then there can be like a bit of a distraction. Make it a bit easier. Because these are tough games. Like if anyone says to you they're not, then yeah, don't believe them. But that's what I love about them, is that the challenge. You know, if you like a challenge, then these are definitely the games to play. They just use the specular highlights here really to create the detail. If you look at the old masters like Rembrandt and Caravaggio, artists like that, they love using really like rich textured highlights to indicate surface detail. Oh, that's so good. Oh, the wax coming down. That's so cool. You can actually get that, I think, as a helmet. And that guy with the cage on the back, you can actually get in there. And he takes you off somewhere. That's so cool. That's him there. That guy. Those guys are trouble. And here we have the cover picture. Again, you can really see what I mean about just using specular highlights to indicate all the detail on the forms. You know, it's all about contrast here, though. It just pops, doesn't it, when you have all those highlights. Oh, those crab things, they're a pain to fight. Oh dear. Dusty slug. And that guy bottom right, he throws fireballs at you. That's really cool. There's a good little sort of mini boss. These maggots coming out of me. There's a crystal lizard there at the bottom right. I love the way they roll around, and look at the detail on that shield. Oh my god. And you might think, oh, it's concept art, they're going a bit overboard with all that detail on the shield, but then of course, you know, when it comes to doing the texturing, they can directly reference that. So it all gets used. But I said there was a lot of artwork. There was a crazy amount of artwork in these books. Now, I've got the French version because, as I said, there's hardly any text in it, as you can see. So it doesn't really matter, and it's a bit cheaper. That's the main reason. And I did have a look online at the time of making this video. And the English version is still available. And it's a little bit more expensive. But you may want to pick that up instead. Oh man, there's some really, really gross looking enemies. Okay. This guy, I do love this guy. It's like a stone angel. This guy's not a boss, he's just a more powerful enemy, and yeah, he's got these great movesets. What I try and do is just get behind them. It normally works. Oh. See, he's using his wings to protect himself there. I love that. A lot of enemies will have weapons that are on fire. There's a lot of lore behind that. There's different flames. I nearly got him. Oh. And when you're rolling, you're kind of invincible. They have like invincible frames, so you can roll through attacks. That's something that isn't that well explained, but it's very important to do. Oh, that guy there, on the top right there, you saw me fighting that guy earlier on that Dragon Peak. His neck kind of extends that, and you can. I love the way you can see it in there. In there, that's an actual form of a character inside that, like Zimmer frame type thing. You can see the form underneath the clothes as well there. Oh, there's the Firekeeper. She's the lady you go to when you want to level up. And look at the detail on that headpiece. Here I am in the Firelink Shrine.
Ashen One, if when thou peerest upon the first flame, thou wishest yet for a world without fire, for an end to the linking of the fire, then call upon me. I am a Firekeeper, and I tend the flame to the very end. Thou hast given me eyes, and such it was they showed me.
See, you can level up and get more powerful.
Mayst thou thy peace discover.
Pay my respects. I like the way she bows back to you. You can try different emotes and see what she does. I love that throne. I mean, look at all the texture work on that. It's a funny little character. He's the only one that sticks to his job. There's one of those pilgrims I was talking about with the shell. And you actually get to talk to one.
Oh, your head's square on your shoulders, is it? I thought that clamouring tin can was the last. But here we go again. What is it you want from this old stone-amped hag?
She's putting herself down now.
I've nothing for you, not a smithereen. I just like to stand here and take in the view.
Called herself an old hag.
Well, that came out of nowhere. You think an old stone-amped hag would be brimming with goodies?
Yeah, give us your goodies, come on.
I've none of that, not a smithereen.
What? Stop lying. Yeah, she's got stuff. I'm sure she's a real looker under that shell. Probably not. But you see the level of detail they put into these different outfits. And there's so many of them. And most of this armour you can actually wear. Most of these outfits you see you can find in the world. It amazes me how much work goes onto these outfits, and most people aren't going to wear most of them. The page quality in the book is good. It's got a nice weight to it. It is a little bit too glossy. If the pages were a bit more matte, I would prefer that. And there is quite a lot of space around the pictures, so there definitely could have been some text there. Even just little anecdotes from the artists, just to give a little bit of context to each picture. That would have gone a long way to make the book just feel a bit more complete. It does feel a bit bare bones with just the artwork. But obviously the artwork is the main thing and there's lots of it. So can't complain too much. Why has she got a dragon tail? A little bell. Again, there's obviously lore behind that. I like the shadow on the wall there.
Hello.
Yeah, there's different classes you can be, and it's more of a starting point really. You can kind of level up your character how you want. But it does give an incredible amount of replayability, and there's so many weapons and armor sets and builds you can create. It is kind of endless. It's nice to see all that detail in the breastplate. Kind of like a thief character there. And there is actually a PvP mode as well. You can actually try out your different builds and weapons against other people. These little arenas. It's kind of a dragon in a humanoid form. That's kind of cool. Yeah, as I say, there's DLCs as well. So you've got the Painted World, Ashes of Ariandel, is it? I think something like that. It's all snowy. I mean, look, oh, what a view! I mean, that's so nice. Let's take a rest here. I've got this far. Been a long journey. And it is a big game, like, especially if you get the Game of the Year edition like I got with all the DLCs included. It's a lot of game for your money. I'm not complaining. I loved every minute of it. Look at all the paintings. You see them on the floor in that location, actually in the game. Yeah, there's this guy with a red hood, and he gets you to touch a bit of cloth, and you end up in this painted world. And there's the lady that paints the world. And that's what the story is really about. To the game is her and what she's up to is a big part of it. That's a cool area. That's in the game. That's a really nice area. In fact, I'll show you that a bit later on. More architecture there. I mean, look at the... I've got to show you these. I mean, in-game. I mean, what fantastic structures. There's one up there. Incredibly detailed. It's kind of, yeah, something going on down there. And there's the other one. I think they've done a fantastic job. I mean, considering how detailed those concept arts are. Oh. Yeah, there's a little guy there. Aha, here we have Filianor and her egg. This is a big part of the DLC. And the conclusion of Dark Souls as well. Get to her a bit later. I love those statues. Oh dear. Oh, so imaginative, isn't it? Love the atmosphere. This is the final boss from the Painted World DLC. That's why I call it Painted World DLC. It's a real pain. This is a tough boss. Oh. A lot of these fights are multi-staged, so you dispense with her. Yeah. And then you have to fight this guy. That's a nice pot. Yeah. He's not too happy. He loses the plot here. Is this all tied down? He's gone potty. Whoa. Fire everywhere. The whole place is coming down. As I said, there's a lot of fire in this game. Look at the atmosphere. Oh, so nice. Bits of ash floating around. Is she going to come back to life? Is she not going to come back to life? She probably is going to come back to life. And now the real fight begins. Sort of like a dragony guy. There's always going to be dragons in Dark Souls. There's a version there with the head removed and the different views of the head for the modelers and texture artists to work with. And there's even on the left there, there's a 3D model there. You can see. There's Gale again. And as I was saying about boss fights, when you think it's over, it's not over. Like this guy, you think, oh, I've beaten him. And, yeah.
Is this the blood?
So he's been basically feasting on corpses. Yes. And he's got more powerful, basically. And he's a nightmare, another nightmare boss. So he's basically been eating the pygmies. And the dark soul sort of thing is inside him. He's called Gale, and he's working with that lady that's painting the new world. So he's trying to get the blood of the dark soul to paint with. And those lady tree characters, top right there, she actually grabs you. It can be really annoying. Look at that, like bird thing. Looks like it's falling, like a baby bird is falling out of a nest. Oh, these things, oh, these angel things in the air. Oh my gosh. So the thing on the left there, you have to kill that. So this thing here, you have to kill this, and then the related angel over there, so it will die now. It's the only way to kill them. They're a pain. If you ever play the game, or if you've played it, you'll know. They are a pain. Not too bad, really. I mean, but oh, look at the design; it's so nice. Oh, yeah, this guy. This is like a giant. He's kind of in the ringed city, overlooking things. Passing judgment on your people. So these guys here on the bridge are people that he's sort of forced to work for him. So the ring city has got more and more defences. But it's not going to happen to us. We're going to get it. And Bloodborne had an area like this as well, where you had to use cover to close the gap on a boss. Oh, watch out, keep moving. Take cover. Get a few hits in. Now, even this guy's got some cool animations. Oh, oh no, it's a skeleton. I should have dealt with that before. And he's summoning someone to help him. Oh my gosh. There's my souls where I died before, so if I can grab those. Oh, I need to deal with those skeletons, I think. This is too much. Oh my gosh, I'm nearly dead. If in doubt, just keep rolling. Roll, roll, roll. Ooh, that's close. You definitely need to use cover with those guys. Okay. Whoa! Yeah, it's trying to slam me. It's very easy to get too greedy in this game and get into trouble. There we go. Yes. But there are certain enemies that respawn, but he's not one of them. So once you've dealt with him, you won't have to keep fighting him again. That's one of the positive things about the game. So there's one of the sort of early humans that's now a hollow. He's got that sign we saw in the sky on his chest there, that kind of ring of fire. And he's one of the knights that killed the dragons. So he's got like a dragon shield there, head of a dragon. So he's obviously an old guy, but he moves well for an old guy. Pretty tough those. Yes, hello. Now that kind of cricket thing there, bottom right, is kind of funny. He pops up quite a lot. Now drop attack. This is very useful. If you ever play this game, make good use of that drop attack. You can do a lot of damage. Oh, got him. Where's his head? They've used one of the suits of armour there for a statue. Very cool. They do that quite a lot from software, having like these things with human heads on. Now he looks quite friendly, so like, don't attack me. If I leave you here, promise you won't attack me. Alright? I'm going to kill you. Don't even think about it. Yeah, that could be a mistake. That guy's a red hooded guy. If you look at his sword, it's not that busted up. It's something to take note of. You do see him later on in the game. I love that dark armour set. So nice. Oh, here's the lady that does the painting. She paints worlds for people to inhabit. So basically when the whole world turns to ash, she'll paint a new world for people. When you see a spread like this, you see all the work that goes into the characters, all the jewellery, the headband, even her underwear there. I think that's actually in the game. I think you can actually wear that underwear. I think I've seen people walking around with it. Might be mistaken. It's like a gypsy, didn't he, that one? Now this is a beautiful illustration. Like there's a big difference between concept and illustration. This is illustration. It's absolutely fantastic. That's Filianor, and she's got the egg. That's a big part of the Ring City DLC. She's kind of keeping everything in check, if you like. Look at all the detail at the bottom there and all those roots. I think we should have a closer look at this. I can zoom in here. Oh, I mean, this must have been used for promotional purposes because there's a serious amount of time and effort gone into this. So delicate. Look at the leaves. Oh. I'd love a poster of this actually. Big poster on my wall would be really nice. I love the flow. It's all wavy, it's all curves, all delicate. You can see that sort of translucent material, that lace, the way that's overpainted. It's really expertly done. And of course, we've got to have a look at her in the game, haven't we? Come on. Let's see how good a job they did with her. And to create something like that, it was all about the flow, the material. And And I think I've done a good job. You know, to do that in 3D, you know, surface modelling, it's not easy to get that natural material, that flow, or those creases. I've all got individually modelled. And yeah, so look, if I just touch this egg, see what happens. Oh, it's breaking. Oh dear. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh, she's waking up. Hello? Oh no. Now we have a flash of light. Okay. What have I done? Oh dear. Uh-oh. Did anyone see me? I don't think so. Oh no! The whole world has turned to ash. Okay, so with that blinding light, have I gone forward in time? Or did I break a curse that unfroze time? Either way, it's not looking good. Oh dear. Well, the egg was broken anyway, so I don't think anyone can really blame me. It was falling apart. Oh. Who am I kidding? I'm in trouble. And that's her dad there. Yeah. I think I've got some explaining to do. Oh, here he is. Oh, this is awkward.
Has come to eat us, to eat our dark souls.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll just go and check on Leonor for you. Wait there. Leonor, hello. Yeah, your dad's outside, wants to see you. Oh, I can't see him at the moment. Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah, I had a word with her, and she's not up to seeing anyone at the moment. Having a bad hair day, and a bad skin day, a bad egg day. Pretty much a bad everything day. Like, could you come back tomorrow, please? You seem just determined. Okay. Yeah, that's probably a good idea to, yeah, but, see you later. Have a nice day. Oh, things aren't going too well for him. Oh my gosh. Wait until he gets in there. Oh, look, you can see where he's been crawling. He's been crawling a long way. Poor guy. Oh no, I shouldn't have touched that egg. It's all my fault. Okay, so now we get to all the weapons. And there's a lot. There's quite a lot in Bloodborne. Like, I did a similar video on the art of Bloodborne. Like, if you enjoyed this video, definitely check that one out as well. But there's even more weapons in this. I think there's just so many to use. It's crazy. And even in the DLCs, there's even more of them to get. So that's all talking about that guy's sword there. The red hooded guy. Gale. There's his sword, and you can see it's like a broken version of it. So I think when you see that flash of light, you are transported forward into time, because Gale's sword is all mashed up. So, and he's kind of surprised to see you. So, but there you go. Cool pop. But the texturing and the detailing, and look at that shield there, that's just little motifs, the eagle. It's just so nice. Being a concept artist, coming up with all these designs, it's a big ask, really. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for the people that come up with all this stuff. So imaginative. Definitely see the inspiration for that. Of course, you've got to have your samurai swords, katanas. From Software, they are a Japanese company after all, so it's not all going to be Western weapons. You've got like heavy axes and things you can swing around. You can do ranged attacks with bows and arrows. I love these shields, and there's even a weapon there with a corpse on it. You can get that from Filianor's sister. So here we are back in the ringed city, and I'll show you one of the weapons I've got here. Oh! Whoa. You actually get the willies when you fall down there. I don't like heights. Oh dear. And this is actually a really cool weapon. It's actually quite good in PvP as well, if you want to play a bit PvP. Yeah. Okay. Praise the sun. If you played the first game, you know what that means. But this is like the weapon art. Like, each weapon has one of these fancy moves, and that's kind of got like a helicopter thing, helicopter blade type. It's good with dealing with hordes of enemies. And there's that big shield. That's actually quite difficult to fight against, that big shield. People know how to use it. Inventory. So there's a lot of words from French that are the same as English, so you can sort of translate it yourself quite easily. Here's all different items in the game. They're nice little bits of artwork in themselves. There's loads of them. Lots of keys for opening hidden doors. Lots of rings that give you all sorts of different abilities and resistance, and they're really cool. And your spells, you can actually do magic spells as well. You can spec as a magician if you want, rather than a warrior. So you can learn all these spells. Create some interesting builds for PvP with all these spells. Okay, so that's the end of the book. I hope you've enjoyed it. Definitely a fantastic book to own. Oh, bit out of focus here. I'll dust it off a bit. So this is by Manor Books. And yeah, as I say, there's the English version. It's a little bit more money, but if you want to get that, I definitely recommend this book, because it's a fantastic book. And yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed the video, and well done for getting this far. It's been a long one, But yeah, it's a fantastic artwork in here. As I said, like 335 pages, I think. So very substantial. Quite a heavy book. It's a good size though. It's not too unwieldy. Like, you can definitely read it on your lap, no problem. Okay. So let's have a little look. I do love this attention to detail, those specular highlights on the armour. The wispiness at the back there. So cool, so cool. Does remind me of the old masters, as I said, like Caravaggio. The way they put highlights on armour and things like that. That level of contrast. The Italians call it chiaroscuro. I think I've said it right. This basically means light and dark, and using light and dark to create depth in your pictures. And we can see it here in this picture by Caravaggio, taken of Christ. You can see Christ being kissed there, identified, and the soldiers coming to take him away. And Caravaggio's even painted himself on the right there, holding the lamp. But you can see in the armour, you can see that sort of dark armour. It looks so rich, and those highlights are just masterful. Like, to do highlights like that with a brush, like the texture of the brush and the paint, it's just incredible technique. And it's only when you try and do something like that yourself that you realise how skilled Caravaggio was. And that's in Ireland, actually, in Dublin, if you want to go and see that work of art. And it would be nice if From Software actually used that technique more in the actual game engine and really push the contrast in the actual locations in the game. I really love to see that, because it's there in the concept work. And of course, with the new consoles, with the ray tracing, maybe they can use more dynamic lighting, a stronger lighting. So hopefully we'll see more dynamic range in the future, especially with high dynamic range monitors now becoming more common. That could look really cool. Okay. So thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.